tried to strengthen over the years. He's never really gone away. He's always been in the squad and able to add quality within the ranks, and he's called upon early today.
Macclesfield are back in front, 2-1 they now lead AFC Tottenham in the Cup, 0-0 here. This is the Premier League live on 5 Live. After Sports Report, we've got Tottenham-Chelsea at 5:30 for you, as Nottingham Forest are on the attack, and Gibbs-White comes forward, out towards Hudson-Odoi. Anderson is joining the attack late, and he wanted the ball played to the edge of the area, but Hudson-Odoi goes on himself. His right-footed effort couldn't keep it down, and it is into the Manchester United travelling support, and it goes for a goal kick. Newport County 0, Gillingham 1, latest score in the Cup.
Yeah, bright from Nottingham Forest that. Manchester United looked like they were on the counter-attack. Bruno Fernandes playing the ball into the feet of Šeško on the halfway line, but quickly surrounded by a swarm of Forest players. Anderson, Yates and Milenkovic all around him, winning the ball back, getting it to Hudson-Odoi, who only had one thing in his mind. I think Jesus in the middle would be a bit frustrated that at no point he looked up to try and filter that ball across, but once he cut into the edge of the penalty area, just couldn't quite keep his shot down.
There's been a goal at Turf Moor. Julia Bolt.
It's Burnley 0, Arsenal 1. It came from a death into Yorker, who dodged high up to put it in the back of the net. A controversial corner as well, because it looked like the ball had already gone out before Dubravka got hold of it. But it is Burnley 0, Arsenal 1.
Sesko's just had a snapshot for Manchester United. Collect the ball, turned, hit it right-footed, and it was just curling away wide, but it was a good effort from the Manchester United striker. In the end, it was probably a good 2 feet wide as Sells dived away to his right-hand post. Another goal at Boreham Wood, Nikesh.
And it's the non-league side who have doubled their lead. Boreham Wood 2, Crawley Town 0. Zach Brunt with a penalty. He was brought down inside the area, stepped up to take the spot kick himself and slotted it coolly down the middle. Boreham Wood 2, Crawley Town 0.
Goal at Vicarage Road, Charlie Slater.
15 minutes gone, the home side in front. Watford 1, Middlesbrough 0. Quadwo bars ball into the penalty area. Imran Louza ran onto it. His 5th of the season, 1-0 Watford.
They've won their last 3 at home of Watford. Middlesbrough, who started the day second in the table, but fallen behind. 0-0 here. Shaw is going to leave the free kick to be taken by Bruno Fernandes. Just knocks it back to the England international, who will go further back towards his goalkeeper, away towards our right. And now here is Shaw. Down the left line it goes towards Cunha. Coming across was Ndoi, and it'll be a throw to Manchester United. That was probably their best effort so far, wasn't it, for Sesko?
Yeah, and I like what I saw from him, to be honest. He is a big lad, and you'd expect him to be on crosses and asking United to put more deliveries into the area, but edge of the box, back to goal, adjusted his feet really well hit snapshot, and had it been on target another 2.5 feet to its right, there's no way Sells would have got there. He was flat-footed in that moment. Really good hit, unlucky.
AFC Tottenham have equalised at Macclesfield, 2-2 in the Cup. Amad Diallo forward for Manchester United, far side the right. Back then towards Euro, both sides naming unchanged teams for this encounter here at the City Ground, where Nottingham Forest have won their last 3 league games against Manchester United. They last won 4 in a row between 1909 and 1910, when Fred Earp was the manager. And the goal scorers in that time were players such as Grenville Morris and Enoch Knocker West.
Glad you said that one rather than me.
Blackpool leads Scunthorpe United by a goal to 0. Ashley Fletcher with the goal there, and Southend United are down to 10 because Ben Goodliff has been sent off for Southend United in the FA Cup, and they are currently drawing 0-0 away at Wealdstone. 0-0 here in the Premier League. Free kick to Manchester United, and Mbumo plays it towards Cunha, 6 yards in from the left touchline, midway through the Forest half. Bruno Fernandes now with a dropping ball in, and it's knocked in towards Sells at the near post by Casemiro, who was arriving late, and it was gathered in by the Forest goalkeeper. So it talks about the Rugby League. What about the Rugby Union? England, Australia, Sarah Orchard.
7 minutes played. England 0, Australia 0. England have had a couple of overlaps where they really should have gone over, but the execution in their attack has been rusty. So for the time being, as they just win a penalty on the halfway England, it's England 0, Australia 0 as we approach the 8-minute mark.
And commentary of that is live on Sports Extra. Gibbs-White comes forward into the centre circle, gives the ball away. There are groans, but he quickly redeems himself and is applauded by his manager, for his quick intervention as he swiftly won the ball back for Nottingham Forest. A number of Nottingham Forest supporters, though, not happy with their captain, because he'd made the claim that the Premier League is better off when Manchester United are winning games. A little odd days to say that before you encounter Manchester United. It is worth pointing out, though, he was a United fan as a boy. His idols were Wayne Rooney and Paul Scholes. But there was a strong reaction by some to that from Gibbs White, as that's a nice turn by Williams. Wealdstone have taken advantage of their superiority with Southend down to 10 and now lead by a goal to 0. 0-0 though here in the Premier League. What's the latest at Selhurst Park? Chris Coles.
0-0 here as well, Palace and Brentford, but the first chance of the game for Crystal Palace. Sarr bursting into the box. You could almost see the cogs whirring. Should I shoot? Should I shoot? And he decided to cross when he probably should have shot. Congested penalty area. Chance away. Still 0-0.
Here is Bruno Fernandes and Casemiro combining to the ball away from Gibbs White. It's stroked out towards that far. It's now raining here at the City Ground, so those blue skies and sunshine have disappeared. The rain sweeping down as Dalot, the left wing back, plays it down this near side. And Bumo is able to turn and pick a forward ball. It dropped over the head of Murillo and then hit the right foot of Sesko, and it took it away from the Slovenian international and straight through to the Forest goal.
Yeah, unfortunate there for Manchester, moving the ball all around the back towards Dalot, filters it. Dalot filters it to Mbeumo on the right hand side, and he gets turned on a halfway line and just leaves a high loopy one over the head of Murillo for Sesko to run on. And he's unfortunate, he couldn't quite bring it in. He was just unsighted slightly at the crucial moment as Murillo tried to intervene with the pass, and just as it bounced, he took his eye off it slightly and couldn't bring it in. But good play for Manchester United. I think United have found it easier to play through the lines of Nottingham Forest in the last 5 or 10 minutes or so than Forest have the other way. I think Forest have been better served when they were getting the ball wide and really getting at Manchester United's wing-backs. Alternatively, United have been better going through in the middle.
In the National League, they are some 57 places below Wimbledon of League One in the pyramid system. However, they are leading in the FA Cup.
This afternoon, far better than last weekend at Wembley. At half-time, it's England 4, Australia 4.
Barnsley 0, York City 1 is a latest score in the FA Cup. You're up to date with the goals as they go in. The feature race for today was the Charlie Hall Chase at Wetherby. It was due off at 2:57, and Giello won it at 11-4 ahead of Picton-Hoy at 5-1 and GA Law at 13-2. Hewitt came fourth for those interested in the places. 5 live in the World Service. The referees coming under pressure from both sides here.
Yeah, both teams expected to see a foul in the last few minutes of the game. I think De Ligt was quite physical on the halfway line. I thought there was nothing wrong with that. Equally, Elliot Anderson and Casemiro competed for the ball. Casemiro seemed to come away with it. Nottingham Forest wanted a foul, and having not given two in Nottingham Forest's favour, Ahmad down the right hand side, cut inside Nico Williams, and just brought him down. The referee again decided not to give a set piece.
Shaw with the interception, links up with the attack as well. I think Cunha wanted the layoff from Sesko. He was unable to control the ball, but it was a promising move that just broke down at the last moment. Sheffield United 0, Derby County 1, a latest score in the Championship. Scottish Premiership, Hearts Dundee, Gavin Wallace.
0-0 at the moment, 10:25 on the clock. Hearts with most of the possession, nothing else happening. The highlights though, the ball's ended up on the roof and the sun means I can't see the match. 0-0.
Another goal at Stoke though, Pat Murphy.
Another goal for Stoke, superb goal from Milian Manhoef. Lovely give and go with the big centre forward Mbama. Made space for himself, left foot past the keeper. Perfect goal from an attacking point of view. Stoke 3, Bristol City 0.
Earlier today in the Championship, Leicester City 0, Blackburn Rovers 2, and Norwich City, who've lost all 7 at home, beaten 2-0 by Hull City. That's 6 successive defeats now for Norwich, as Wigan Athletic lead Hemel Hempstead Town by 1-0 in the FA Cup, and Western Supermen 0, Aldershot Town 1 is also a latest score in those first round ties. Colchester United have just taken the lead too, at home to MK Dons by 1-0, as Ndoye tracking back for Nottingham Forest, just to shield the ball away from Cunha. Up it goes. Yates will get a touch, a toe end. Succeeds to pass the ball forward towards Gibbs-White. Gives it back towards the Forest captain. Anderson now looks for the run of Savona. Bursting through and bursting clear into the penalty area, right-hand side. Savona's cross-come shot takes the deflection and gathered in by the goalkeeper. He looked uncertain when he got into the penalty area.
Yeah, he did, and it was there to be crossed initially. Jesus had got away in the middle from De Ligt momentarily, and if he'd have just played it in first time, you felt that the Forest striker may have been favoured to get on the end of it. He wanted another touch, and then he wanted to make his decision. He didn't make his decision early enough for Manchester United able to get back and recover, but good play from Nottingham Forest down this right-hand side.
Salford City 0, Lincoln City 1 is the latest score in the FA Cup. Now this could go wrong here, because I think the instructions were to go to Julia at Burnley.
Burnley 0, Arsenal 1 still, and it is all Arsenal so far. Burnley just struggling to even get hold of the ball, let alone get out their own half at the moment. Still Burnley 0, Arsenal 1.
A couple of bits of fortune going your way today, isn't it?
Just a little. Savona with a throw. Gibbs-White challenges Casemiro in the air. A real humdinger at Macclesfield. Macclesfield 2, AFC Tottenham 3 is the latest score in the FA Cup. Loose ball which Casemiro will tidy up. Back towards Senan Lamens, the Belgian goalkeeper. One clean sheet in his 3 games since he signed for just over £18 million from Royal Antwerp. As Yoro, De Ligt across that back 3, just sweeps it into the path of Shaw. Cunha being challenged behind by Ndoye. Sean Dyche isn't happy with that decision. It goes against Nottingham Forest. It's a free kick for Manchester United midway through their own half, and we are still 0-0.
Yeah, I think it was a foul. I don't think Cunha wanted to be going short to receive that ball off Shaw, and Ndoye felt it and tried to get in tight, but he did bring it to ground. But Sean Dyche has been quite animated in the last 5 minutes or so inside of his technical area, especially to his 2 central midfielders, telling them to get the ball wider as soon as possible, not over the top, not in between the fullback and centre halves. Open up and play the ball wide into those areas down the sides of the Manchester United 3 central defenders.
Shaw lifts the ball to Bruno Fernandes, finds the space now with the outside of his right boot, crosses it along the ground. Amad Diallo, shot! Saved by Sells, very good save too. High away towards his right, flying save from Sells. Ball picked up by Cunha. Manchester United still attacking. This is Casemiro. Casemiro tries to just dink the ball out towards Amad, and then coming back from an offside position, flag raised, free kick to Nottingham Forest, 0-0. But that will do Sells the world of good for somebody who kept a number of clean sheets last season. I think it did take a deflection on its way through, didn't it?
Maybe. I thought it should have been a lot more comfortable than he made it look. I thought he maybe could have even caught that. I think that was the old school one for the cameras, that we'd say. But it came after a good move from Manchester United. It took a little bit of risk inside their own half, not far outside their own penalty. A cute little nutmeg from Bruno Fernandes. But I think I've seen that a little bit more. We've actually spoke of United going long today and how often they would try to do it. There has been quite a few occasions where they've actually tried to suck Nottingham Forest out, tried to bring them onto them, tried to play through a little bit more than I expected, and on a couple of occasions they've actually ended up with a shot at the other end, so well done.
This day a year ago, Ruben Amorim was announced as the new head coach. He actually began his spell as manager on November the 11th. He's won 21 of his 52 games before, talking about it and just saying it's been a really tough period, but it still remains one of the biggest honours of his life. He's come through a lot of scrutiny and a lot of pressure, and he comes into this game for the first time with 3 successive wins under his belt as Manchester United's head coach, as with his puffer jacket on, black puffer jacket in that technical area, the white pumps, pacing up and down. Barnsley have equalised at home to York City in the FA Cup first round. 5 Live, the World Service, and also the BBC Sounds app, with half an hour played here in the rain at the City ground. And Gibbs-White runs away from Bruno Fernandes, tries to weave a ball through towards Jesus, stopped though by De Ligt, and Bruno Fernandes now towards Amad, lays it off first time in field, and that was right of the centre circle for Mbumo to run forward, but Murillo had tracked him every step of the way, and Sean Dyche wants Forest to push up and squeeze Manchester United as that back line goes towards the halfway line. And Lamens now comes under pressure from the press, and as a result his hurried clearance goes out for a throw, and Williams picks up the ball off one of those white cones on the far side and looked like he'd been impeded by Mbumo, and unable to take a quick throw. He did make the most of it, did Nico Williams, and there's no action from the referee taking Darren England against the Manchester United player. At least something's happened for Gavin Wallace.
There has, and it's a goal for Hearts. Great individual effort as the run came up. It falls to Lawrence Shankland on the edge of the box, Ian, and he just, as cool as you like, inside of the right foot, far side of John McCracken. Hearts 1, Dundee 0.
Leaders going from strength to strength. Dallow tidies up, and then back it goes. Lamans will clear downfield. Anderson does well to control that high ball out from under the ground. It went almost out of play for a throw, but he did well to keep it in and retrieve it as Forest still have possession. And now they look for the run of Gibbs-White, but that goes all the way through to the goalkeeper. And it's no longer goalless at Selhurst Park. Chris Coles.
Selhurst Park bouncing to greet Jean-Philippe Mateta's opening goal. Deep free kick, Lerma headed it back across goal, and Mateta flicked it into the far corner. Crystal Palace 1, Brentford 0.
That's also now the scoreline between Newport and Gillingham, because Newport County have equalised in the FA Cup. Newport 1, Gillingham 1, and Reading have taken the lead against Carlisle United by a goal to nil. Liam Richardson, of course, was appointed during the week as their new manager against the Carlisle side, who are third in the National League, managed by Mark Hughes. As Shaw, his forward ball will go all the way through towards Matt Sells in blue, away towards our left. Back to Watford, Charlie Slater.
Watford 2, Middlesbrough 0. This is a brilliant, inviting, right-footed ball from Jeremy Ngakia, which finds Luca Kierango his first goal since the middle of August. Watford 2, Middlesbrough 0.
Millwall then will be going second in the table, just 2 points behind Coventry City, as Manchester United are attacking, and this is Mbumo. His attempted cross blocks. It rebounds out towards Bruno Fernandes, who lifts the ball out towards that far side. Here is Mbumo again, gives himself room to deliver the cross. Sesko at the far post was poised, but Savona had gone back with him and keeps the ball in play. Oh, the assistant referee on the far side.
Oh, I think it was the referee that gave it. I don't think the assistant actually flagged the referee. He is probably closest, to be honest, the referee, certainly than the official, who, yes, he's looking all the way down the line, but the referee's a lot closer. He was the one who gave that decision after good play from Manchester United. Well defended initially from Savona, up against Sesko at the far post, but then as he's scrambling over, he just seems to stumble on the ball himself. We're just getting to see it back, and it doesn't look like the ball was out.
No, and the assistant referee on the far side is getting pelters from the Forest fans in the Trent End, and the fourth official's getting it in the ear too from Sean Dyche. In comes the corner for Manchester United, and what do you know what? Manchester United have gone and scored. Casemiro's downward header. Manchester United are ahead, and there is uproar from a Forest point of view. Controversial goal as far as Forest are concerned. Sean Dyche isn't happy, the Forest fans aren't happy, but Manchester United take the lead 1-0.
Oh, Sean Dyche and his team are furious. So is this Nottingham Forest crowd base, certainly showing how frustrated they are with that decision going against them. Certainly shouldn't have been a corner. We've just seen the replay. I'm pretty sure it's the referee that gave it, not the assistant who was looking down the line. I mean, it is close, but I still don't think all the ball is out. Maybe from the referee's angle it looked it, but the corner kick was given, and from that moment Nottingham Forest had to defend it, and they didn't. Bruno Fernandes just whips it in swinger from this side of the pitch, and he just puts a lot of loop on it, a lot of loft, and lands it soft in the middle of the goal, probably exactly on the 6-yard line, probably about a yard inside the far post, and asks someone to go and head it. Nottingham Forest are marking zonally. Casemiro arrives on cue with a running leap, just gets above everybody and directs it down to the left-hand side to Sells' right hand, bounces down and in the goal. Manchester United celebrating. Nottingham Forest are furious.
Casemiro with his third goal of the season, and the Manchester United fans in full voice away towards our right. Still Ian Wone and the Nottingham Forest bench are complaining to the fourth official. The goals elsewhere around the country: Grimsby Town 0, Ebbsfleet United 1. 12th in National League South against the League 2 team, and they are ahead at Blundell Park. Slough Town 1, Altrincham 0, Cambridge United 2, Chester 0, and you're up to date with the goals as they go in, as we find out what's happening in the rugby union with Sarah Orchard.
Well, after a sluggish start, it's now England 10, Australia 0, 23 minutes on the clock. It was so clunky, the England attack, but all of a sudden they burst into life. Benno runs half the length of the pitch and the halfway line to go under the post. A penalty and a conversion by George Ford. A lot rosier right now in the Twickenham crowd. England 10, Australia 0.
Nothing rosy about the crowd here at the City Ground for those the red of Nottingham Forest. That rugby union match, by the way, is live on Sports Extra. But Manchester United are ahead. Macclesfield 3, AFC Tottenham 3. As there's now been another goal at Turf Moor. Julia Bolt.
It's Burnley 0, Arsenal 2, and it has been coming. This time Trossard has sent the ball into the box. Declan Rice with his head on it, centre of goal. Burnley 0, Arsenal 2.
That would be a 9-match winning sequence for the league leaders, who are in sensational form. And in the penalty area with a cut back towards Gibbs White. But Dallo was alert, and the left wing back in a central area was just able to get his left foot into the challenge as Manchester United now look for a counter-attack. And Ahmad has been sent scampering away over on that far side, the right. Ahmad now level with the area, crosses the ball, and Dallo, who actually started that move with the initial interception, tried to get on the end of it on the edge of the area. Forest now have the red shirts back, but Manchester United, through that controversial goal, it should not have been a corner kick. And from the resulting corner, Casemiro's goal has given them the lead. Colchester 1, MK Dons 1.
Yeah, United just getting to the halfway line, just trying to take the sting out of this game, and the noise of the crowd, because since that goal, it's been Nottingham Forest on the front foot, trying to compete, trying to win the ball back. Manchester United were taking risks at the back. It's not what they should have been doing in that moment of the game, with this crowd baying for their team to be on the front foot. And they won the ball back on 2 occasions. In those couple of moments, Forest nearly created something. The moment United went long, that's when they nearly got in at that end of the pitch.
Livingston 1, Hibs 1 is the latest score in the Scottish Premiership, and it sounds as if it's going from bad to worse for Wolves. Will Perry.
Exactly what I was about to say, Ian. Fulham 1, Wolves 0, but Wolves, the visitors, down to 10 men. Emmanuel Agbadou refusing to walk as things stand, but he was the last man. It's gone to a VAR check. Josh King was bursting through. Agbadou cleaned him out. The 2 other Wolves defenders seemed miles away. They're checking a handball here for Josh King. I'll come back to you. As it stands, though, Wolves down to 10, Fulham 1, Wolves 0.
Thanks, Will. The last 2 seasons, of course, the 3 promoted sides have immediately been relegated. They've gone straight back down. Only 4 times in the 33 seasons in the history of the Premier League have all promoted sides stayed up, and the last time it actually happened was Nottingham Forest were one of them, with Bournemouth and Fulham in 2023. But there's going to be a lot of pressure down at the bottom, the way that Sunderland, Leeds United and Burnley have started this season, although Burnley have 2-0 down to Arsenal. But Wolves, who are winless, and Nottingham Forest struggling, are both behind. Falkirk 3, Kilmarnock 0. Hearts lead Dundee 2-0. Gavin Wallace.
Cycle from a corner, a bit of a stramash inside the box. Just as, I thought he was through again, Ian, sorry. Hearts 2, Dundee 0.
Slough Town 2, Altrincham 0. And there has been a goal at St Mary's. Paul Gilmore.
Pretty grim atmosphere here because Preston have the lead. Lewis Dobbin from close range after 39 minutes. Southampton with just 2 home league wins in 2025. They had made a bright start, but Preston have the lead. Southampton 0, Preston 1.
Will still be in a job. That is a conundrum as the shot fired in. Hudson-Odoi just goes wide. I can't take the credit for that. I had a good friend who sent it to me. It works better on a text. Will still be in a job. Talking of Will, here's the Perry version.
Yeah, not sure how I'm still in a job. Still Fulham 1, Wolves 0, and he has gone, Emmanuel Agbadou, as the free kick comes in from Fulham. Harry Wilson straight into the wall. There was a handball. It just depends where you see where the T-shirt line was, and Josh King wearing the Under Armour, he's got away with it. Agbadou's gone, Wolves down to 10, Fulham 1, Wolves 0.
Cheers, Will. Match of the day tonight, 10:30 BBC One. There's been a goal at Spennymoor now in the FA Cup. Nathan Alban.
And it's gone to League 2, Barrow. 5 minutes before the break, Elliot Newby slipped in on goal and a delicate dinked finish over the goalkeeper. It is Spennymoor Town 0, Barrow 1.
Sutton United 1, Telford 0 is the latest score also in the Cup. Manchester United are 1-0 up here on this busy Saturday afternoon. 5 minutes to go to half-time. Yoro out towards Ahmed. He's got a lot of time on the ball to control it. Nobody's gone towards him. Sean Dyche again is wanting those red shirts of Forest, who are playing from left to right as we look to move down the field. Here is Cunha out to the left. Dallo passes the ball back. Luke Shaw. Peterborough United lead Cardiff City by a 1-0 in the FA Cup. As here is Shaw. Looks comfortable for the minute for United.
Yeah, I just feel there's a bit more, certainly belief in what they're doing at the moment, but also a little bit more know-how. You know, those moments of experience of when to attack, when to defend, when to play long, when to play short. And that's not just about experience, that's understanding the system, that's understanding where you are in particular moments, that's understanding pressure. And apart from, immediately after they scored and started trying to play through a Nottingham Forest aggressive press, they've actually known when to play Manchester United, and I think they've found Mbeumo and Cunha in some brilliant pockets of space.
Here is Mbeumo, passes the ball forward. Ahmed cuts inside and looks for an effort off his left foot as he entered the D of the penalty area, couldn't keep it down. It was a wayward finish in the end, and it goes out for a goal kick. Bolton Wanderers lead Huddersfield Town by 1-0 in the FA Cup. When Manchester United have scored first this season, they're unbeaten in 6. They've won the previous 5. They had that draw at Fulham. But for Nottingham Forest, when they've conceded first in 9 previous games, they are yet to win. They've drawn 2 and lost 7.
Yeah, and I think you could see Sean Dyche's reaction. He knew the importance of the first goal here today. There's certainly enough time for his team to get back in the game, but it just makes it a little bit more difficult, especially with the style you're expecting Nottingham Forest to play and the style in which you'd expect the Sean Dyche team to play. You generally need to get the first goal. It's Manchester United who've started the better.
That's the voice of Leon Osman, the former Everton and England international. Ball scooped forward. Here is Ndoye, down into the ground. Good save. Loose ball. Flags up anyway, might not have counted. Lamans made the save, and Ndoye was in an offside position. However, it was still a very good save by the goalkeeper, right-footed down into the ground. Manchester United are still 1-0 up, and he was well offside, actually. Oh no, maybe a little bit tighter than necessarily thought.
Yeah, it was close, but you always felt he was. But I'm sure Lamans won't mind that, having given the opportunity to make a save. That'll be good for his confidence, but also for Nottingham Forest, showing if they're just a bit crisper with the passing, if they bend the runs slightly better, there are opportunities to get at this United team.
We'll go